everyone. My name is Ellie. I am here today with Sara Stepherson.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to have a great stream today. Sara is going to be working on restoring some old photos using Photoshop, and I think we'll hop over to Firefly for a little bit too. So I'm really excited to see. I feel like this is going to be such a useful, practical stream that everyone will be able to take things away from and use in their own photos, which is awesome. So please say hello in the chat. Let us know where you guys are watching from. And feel free to ask questions as we go along. It looks like we have people joining already. Wade, Jose is here from Puerto Rico. And DG Square, Valder, Carmen, thank you so much for being here. Please ask questions as we go along. And excited to be here. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit and talk about what you're going to work on?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Sara, so I'm going to be restoring photos like Ellie said.
Yeah.
Which I'm super excited about. I started photo editing a year ago. I used to do more like photography stuff, but then people would just reach out to me on the internet because they knew I was good at Photoshop. Like, hey, could you edit this for me? And then it just kind of turned into this whole thing where just people send me their photos.
That's awesome.
I have a bunch of photos that I edited like within this year or last year that I did without the new Firefly. So today I'm gonna re-edit them with Firefly just to see how long it takes me, like, or how short it takes me.
Yeah.
So, which is super exciting because like this one is one of my favorites. This is the before, and this is a photo of like the girl's parents. She wanted me to remove like the Christmas filter and also kind of extend the photo because she's like, I want to fit it into a certain frame. So this is the after, right? I kind of extended it a little bit.
So this is what you did without
any Firefly.
Firefly, yeah.
So this kind of took me a while because like you can kind of see like even the chins, that was like pretty hard for me. Like it's covering just their thing. So that's me like picking and choosing. I even had like another photo where I'm like, hey, what's the shape of the chin?
Yes, because that can make a person look really different.
Where I'm like, what does your chin look like? What does your neck look like? I mean, there's a shadow right there, so that was easy. But then even too, I added like a finger to the left, and it looks okay, right?
Yeah,
it looks good. And
I mean, it looks great.
Yeah, but
it probably took a really long time.
Yeah, like I remember working on this photo and like sending it to her, like, hey, how does this look? You know, make sure the colors are right.
Yeah.
So now we're just gonna see what AI can do without removing this and what happens.
See.
So
DG Square says, this came at a perfect time. I have tons of old damaged photos from my family and lots of rad photos from the 70s and 80s that need serious color correction. I hope you cover that too. Thanks. Well, here you go.
Yeah, it's perfect.
We're doing it right now. So thanks for being here and ask questions as they come up on the stream. And we have Ace210 from Georgia. St. Louis, Missouri, that's where Christopher is from. And then another Christopher from Sweden.
Oh, nice.
So awesome.
That's
wow.
Cool. Look, oh my gosh.
That is crazy.
Look at
that was so quick. And then it will give you different options as well, which is awesome. You can kind of like, you could send those, 3 options to the client and say which one
which
fits their, or if you have the photos to refer to, that's great too.
So it's like kind of, if we're looking, like they do have like a more like flat, strong jawline.
Yeah.
So I do feel like this one works the best.
Yeah.
And if you just want to like double check, like that's a little bit sharp line, so you can always like fix that.
Yeah.
But I love being able to do that and then just edit from here, right?
Yes.
Like work on that a little bit. And
so fast.
I'll usually just like flatten the image and then we can do this. And a nice thing too with the AI is you can just select multiple. Like I probably could have selected all 3 of those things.
Right.
But
sometimes it's easier to like, you can like start by selecting a bunch and then if it gets weird, then you can go in and select smaller pieces.
Yeah.
But it is nice that, you can do multiple.
And it's nice too, I feel like when you're removing things, you don't really need to put anything in the text box. Like, if you guys notice, I try it first just to see what it kind of thinks.
Yeah.
Like here is a little bit weird just because it's trying to like copy his hair a little bit. So maybe like if you wanted, I feel like from this point, I would just kind of do one at a time.
Yeah.
Just to kind of see what it would look like.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get confused.
Right. But if you're removing and you don't type anything, it's just going to automatically think that you want to remove that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to see too, especially since this is gray and red and the rest is black and white.
Yes.
That
it's different. It doesn't match. Yeah.
I kind of like, I don't know. I did this earlier. Let me look at which ones I liked. This is what happened when I did earlier, which is kind of nice. It has like the hair. Yeah. The round line.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously like sometimes it's not perfect, sometimes it is, and so you just kind of have to.
And you can generate it again.
Yeah,
if
and
you
so,
needed
like,
to. So you could say, give me more options.
Yeah, or even like what I would do too, like right here, is I would just like circle this part and be like hair or something like that.
Right.
So, oh yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. Oh, I like. Oh, she even get like a little part.
Yeah.
I like this one. I think the best.
Yeah, that looks really good.
But yeah, I think the AI is trying to do it so it's like trying not to do any commands too. So like don't like remove, Christmas ornament, add this. I think it kind of like sees it like word by word.
Yeah.
So the fewer words, in my opinion, the better. Unless you're trying to do something artistic.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, or if you're trying to add something, you have to tell it, here's what I want to add here. But
that's kind of nice, like with all like the hair.
Yeah,
and everything like
looks
that.
good.
This hair, and because he does have a lot of hair. Like I remember adding it, and she was like, "Oh, it needs more hair or whatever." But now let's just see for extending the photo. Which I guess, you know what? She actually wanted to color it, so let's just color it first.
Okay, and then extend it.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't know, Photoshop has actually had this for a while, but you go over to filters, and then Neural filters. You can do so much in Neural filters. I love playing around.
Cool.
When they update, like, you can like do like different scenery. Let's see.
Awesome.
Where is that one? The landscape one.
Okay.
Where you can change like from summer to winter.
Yeah.
It's actually I've had people
crazy.
where they're like, oh, there was snow like here, or like we missed the snow. Like, can you add snow? So I've definitely used this for requests before. I usually go down here to the bottom, photo restoration, and if you don't have it downloaded, you just hit download. So it's kind of loading. This is like photo enhancement. Oh, I guess this is what I do after. I guess you have to go to colorize first if you want to colorize a photo. Cool. And boom.
Wow.
It was like literally that quick.
It's amazing.
People was like, how do you do it?
What a time saver.
I'm like, I don't know. And you can change it from here too.
Yeah, make adjustments as needed.
Or like even like do like retro green or something. Let's just
let's see what it does. Mia says this makes it so much easier. It does.
Yeah.
So
right, like I can't even imagine like
how much time that would take.
I know. I'm just like I can't imagine. I've never done like coloring before, but I'm like, yeah, that would be so hard.
It would be so well, and it's not even just the time, but you have to know exactly what the skin tones were and how to like apply them with like the lighting that's on their face and everything, taking all of that into account.
Yeah, like if you don't know what they look like, and I'll still have people send me that, be like, hey, if you have like. Maybe it's a really old photo, they passed away, like, if a family member looks like them, like, what their skin tone looks like.
Yes, that's smart.
I remember the first time I did the lips were super red, and even his, too, she's kind of like, oh, it almost looks like he's wearing lipstick. So, right, sometimes it's a little bit different, but that's why you kind of just, whatever
make those
know.
Adjustments,
Or even, too, like, sometimes this lady I had, she was wearing a red dress. And he's like, okay, she's wearing a red dress, like, they know exactly what they're wearing. And it just kind of
how would you know? It's just a black and white photo or something.
They're like,
you're like,
and
what
sometimes
color?
it's like kind of nice too. Like one time I was like, oh, the hat like turned blue. Like, is it blue? And she's like, I don't know, but it looks great. Like, like I like it. You know? So that's kind of cool. And of course, you can kind of touch up here. Like it kind of tries to change it with the shadows and lighting. So if I'm gonna change something, I'll usually go over to the paintbrush tool and do color replacement. And the hardness I always just like keep all the way down. Yeah. And with the Alt key, you can kind of just like pick your color.
Okay.
And then you can just like paint over it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like a little bit bright, so sometimes I'll add like a new and you can add a new layer and and do all these different, layer, what are they called? Edits or whatever. Yeah. But sometimes I just like doing this really quick because it just makes it look kind of seamless, and it tries to do it.
Yeah,
with the coloring
for sure.
lining. I mean,
it's a little different blending mode. To kind of tone it down.
So it's a little bit saturated. So like that's where you like kind of change it. So so that option is always there. Or maybe you wanted to change like the lip if you had like a color already. Yes. I would probably just like create a adjustment layer, hue saturation, and then invert it, and then I would just like paint over it, which you can't really see. Oh wait, I was like, where's my brush? Oh yeah. It's on black. Make sure it's on white, right? Black erases white colors. Right. So you can go like that, and I'll just make it really dramatic so you guys can see. But right now they got gray lips. Yeah. But so you can just touch it up as you go. It's again, it's your preference, but
that's really cool.
Yeah, and then again, if you kind of wanted to, let's look at the original. It kind of adjusted I guess it did the Neural filter where it kind of adjusted the face. I'll just show that again.
Yeah.
Neural filters.
Yeah, Christopher says, I've done it by hand on real photos, rubber cement, where you don't want color, and dip/paint with photo dye. It takes a super long time. That's crazy. So GG Square asked, in the neutral filter, colorized by hand, is there a way to zoom in on the image in the colorizing window?
I think so, yeah. Just, there's little buttons over here. I usually just alt and scroll, and that way you can kind of see, like, oh, okay, like, and maybe that's where you can, like, kind of change it.
Yeah.
Right, like, okay, adjust it here. But again, I kind of like doing it, like, by hand.
Yeah.
That way it doesn't change the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then usually when I'm done, this is what I'll do, like, the photo enhancement. I don't always do the enhanced face because, again, it kind of made, like, their eyes a little bit too sharp.
Right.
It's sometimes nice, especially with close-up photos. I feel like with far-away photos, the eyes and the teeth get all weird.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, like, looks a little bit too trippy.
For sure.
So I'll just use photo enhancement, and that kind of gets rid of, like, this photo is super, like, a lot of texture.
Yeah.
So that can get rid of it unless you like it or whatever. Scratch reduction, too, if, like, there are a lot of photos with scratches on it.
Yes, which old photos,
Always do. So I kind of use that. Like, let's see. Let's go to another photo with a lot of scratches.
Cool. Andrew also asked, so how is Sara using AI on Photoshop, and what is she using to do the AI? So you were starting out by using the Contextual Task Bar, which if you update your Photoshop, the newest version of Photoshop will have this available for you.
And yeah. If you just go into Creative Cloud and you go to all apps, it'll have them right here, and you can just click update.
Yes.
And if you still can't see it, then I would go to Window, and it's just like right here.
Yeah.
Contextual Task Bar.
So this is the newest version, and it's powered by Firefly, so it's basically Gen AI inside of Photoshop now, and it's available for you if you have Photoshop, and it's available for commercial use too, which is great.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. So you can add things, you can remove things, so much easier. And that little toolbar, which I think we're kind of there we go. So like it will it's smart, right? So right now it's saying remove background if you wanted to just like quickly, easily remove background. But if you make a selection, then it's going to adjust based off of what it thinks that you're wanting to do. So the tools that are there will kind of change, which is really cool.
Yeah, so like
select subject.
And you can kind of select from this toolbar too, right?
Yeah.
You can like adjust your selection.
Exactly.
You can flip your selection, which I use all the time.
Yes.
Just flip it, or
Do the
you
reverse.
can mask, paint, whatever. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's just like all right there.
Yeah, it's really cool. Andrew also asked, how do you go about choosing which colors to use when you're editing black and white images?
To use, I usually pull from the photo, right? Like if I'm like after I've done the neural filters, I don't really choose. Like it's just like an automatic thing, and then I can either adjust like the saturation, the blue and the reds, like from the neural filters bar. But I usually click OK, and then I use the color replacement tool, which is over by your paintbrush.
Awesome. And then like you said, if somebody knows what color something was, like his shirt was like blue or something, then you could make that adjustment.
Yeah, after. And I would just use that using the other like Photoshop adjustment layers, and that way you can kind of make it more personal to you instead of just like this automatic thing.
Yeah, it's kind of just guessing. So cool, great questions. Thanks for asking, and keep them coming. It's awesome.
I love answering these, because everybody's like, wait, how do you do this?
Yeah,
how do you do this? Which is super cool.
Yeah,
especially like I think I love it when people ask me, like, is this even possible?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it is. And they're like, really? Like, it's almost like they, like, don't believe me, which I totally get, because they're kind of like, how do you even do that? Like, what tools are you using? And so this one, this I edited before the Firefly AI, too. And this is kind of like what I came up with. I mean, I got rid of all the scratches, which is good.
Great.
I kind of noticed later that I extended his ear. Like, I made it a little bit bigger.
Right.
So we're just going to test this out. And I also extended the photo.
Right.
And I mean, I was definitely using a little bit of like what was already in the photo.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool like to see what AI will do. So I'm just going to go to Neural Filters really again, which is over by Filters. And then I would go down to Photo Restoration. She didn't want this colorized, so we could kind of test it out to see what we would do. And then let's just try doing 100 for scratch reduction.
Cool.
Let's just see what it does. And kind of edit their noses a little funny. Yeah. But and you can kind of like play around with it.
And make adjustments.
But I mean, it actually kind of did her face pretty well.
Yeah.
I guess you can also like toggle once it's done. I'll see. Oh yeah, it did her face pretty well. Oh, and it kind of followed his nose line.
Oh yeah,
And
that looks pretty good.
Look at the ear. Oh, the ear. It did a lot better. So it kind of still has like those little scratches, but again, like sometimes I'll just like do it little by little so it's not too extreme.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun because it gets rid of like the tedious task of like spot healing everything.
So like precisely.
There's so
yeah.
many. I'm always like, this won't take me long, and then I'm like, oh shoot. Which,
just kidding.
Another thing I like about this, I feel like this is a new update, the remove tool.
Yes.
Because it used to only be like the patch tool, healing brush tool, and spot healing brush tool.
Yeah, the remove tool is
So
great.
like, right, like the spot healing brush tool is kind of nice. All you have to do is kind of highlight, and it'll pull from the image.
Right.
So right, that's pretty good. But I don't know why, I just love the remove tool. I feel like it does it better.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's like, I'm like, oh, it's not even there. So I'll
Yeah.
usually use that too to just kind of
Clean it up more.
Yeah, clean it up.
Yeah. So Christopher had said like the photo texture in that other image was because it's on traditional photo paper, which was called fiber paper. So that's where that texture comes from, which is cool.
That's good to know because I always kind of wondered like, oh, is it just them? Because sometimes I'm like, did they take the photo of the photo?
Yes.
Or are they scanning it? Like,
And it makes sense. The paper will give it a texture too. And then Link asked, you guys have restored a lot of old-fashioned photos, but if you had a pixelated photo taken on a cheap camera, are there any ways to restore an image like that? And Wade said you could try using super zoom and JPEG artifact removal to help with that scenario.
oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to say on that.
Yeah, I would definitely use those things, and then almost kind of that's where I would go in again to like neural filters and doing like the photo enhancement. I feel like that kind of just helps a little bit again with like that texture or like the blurriness too.
Right.
I feel like that definitely helps like photo enhancement with like the blur. It kind of sharpens everything a little bit. Same with enhanced face. Enhanced face again can look a little. It depends on every photo, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I'll do that, and if it still looks a little like pixelaty, sometimes I'll even go into camera raw filter, which again is just under filters. And I'll just go under detail, and there's sharpening, noise reduction, or color noise reduction, and sometimes that kind of helps. Like it gives this kind of a very clay-like feel. But, like, right, like, see all those pixels? And, like, now they're kind of gone.
Yeah.
And then you can just, like, sharpen it just a little bit.
Right. It kind of smooths it out, and then you can kind of bring back some of those features by sharpening
So I kind of like, I mean, it makes it a little bit blurry. But, again, then, like, I would go through, like, the sharpening tools, right? The neural filters and everything like that. So it's almost like you're blurring it more, but then sharpening it. But then, right, then you're not sharpening the pixels themselves, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, for sure. Nia asked, can we use AI Firefly to change the clothing on a picture?
Oh, yes, you can.
It's so cool.
I love that. It's like, so like, let's say maybe you wanted to make this super realistic or something like that. Let's just see what AI would do. Whoops. To like add maybe like a wedding dress.
Yeah, let's see.
We'll even just like try to extend it too. So let's just like circle her. And her neckline. Got a little bit of her hair. And if you're adding things to a photo, I definitely recommend over selecting.
Right.
Just because, like, then you can kind of erase rather than it being a little bit confused. Like, wait, what is it supposed to change to? I don't know. And that's kind of nice, too, because I feel like selecting takes so much time.
Yeah.
You're, like, trying to, like, perfect the perfect selection.
It doesn't have to be perfect. And it's going to read the rest of the photo, which is cool, too.
Yeah.
And it should make something that kind of fits with that.
Yeah. And then you can always change it, too. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, like, you know, maybe I do want to do it all the way up to her chin or something like that. You can just kind of see what AI kind of gets.
What looks good.
Oh, that looks so good.
That's cute. What a cute dress.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Really like
wow.
that.
And it fits the colors and like it's taking everything into account. Like it's making it match the photo, which always just blows my mind.
That's my favorite part
so
because
crazy.
It's like I've had somebody where like I used to have like turn down work.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, it's completely destroyed. I can't even tell what it looks like. And they're like, oh, she was wearing this wedding dress. And I'm like, I don't even know. But now I'm like, you could even, like, change the cut, right? Like, go into, like, more, change the sleeve. If, like, you kind of, if she described, or the person described, like, oh, this is what it looked like. Maybe send, like, a reference photo. And then it could actually look like the photo itself, too. Instead of, like, copying, like, a stock photo.
Yes.
And trying to, like...
Well, and then you have to, like, blend it into the photo and make everything match versus this where it's, like, it's doing it for you.
Look, it's pretty. And maybe, like, let's see if we could change I mean, I kind of like how it's white. It's matching, but maybe
it's
if
really
he wanted
cute.
like a black suit.
I love that
like
dress. It's so pretty. I love the sleeve.
I know, right? I'm like,
so cute.
You can kind of see, something went wrong. So maybe it just doesn't really understand suit. Maybe like
tuxedo or something.
Like tuxedo.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing I love, the update, it has like 100+ languages now.
Yes.
Which is really cool because I feel like some words are like not actually like all English, so it's kind of like, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, I understand that. Like, that makes sense.
Yes.
Oh, nice. That makes it look a little funny. Oh, that one's pretty good.
That one's much better. That one matches well.
That one's pretty good too. It's a little saturated, but this one, like...
that one looks so good.
That's so cool. And I would kind of erase, like, this part maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's where his suit went. But, right, it kind of made his face a little bit weird.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I would just connect it to the background and kind of, like, just, like, adjust it.
Yeah, Andrew asked if you auto-generated the wedding dress, but you typed in wedding dress.
Yeah, I typed in wedding dress, and that was, like, my first thing.
You could try auto-generating and see what it would do, but I feel like for adding things, it's nice to give it a prompt.
Yeah, because otherwise it's kind of like, like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, we can just try doing blank. And sometimes it's kind of fun, like, what does Photoshop think?
Yeah, and you could get really specific, like, high neck lace wedding dress. Like, you could, like, give it more words, more descriptors if it wasn't giving you what you wanted.
It's kind of like...
See, it's like, what is this?
Oh, she's gone.
She's floating. Just ahead.
Right, so I think almost like when you give nothing, it's kind of like, in my head, it's like thinking, oh, you want to remove it.
Yeah, I know, that's how I think of it too.
So,
yeah.
And yeah, again, like, kind of like what Ellie was saying, like, if you didn't like the wedding dress, that's where I would add more words.
Yeah.
And that way you can kind of tell, I saw somebody do this, what word is, like, not working. Like, the black suit, like, suit just wasn't working. So
try a different word. You have to kind of learn to speak the language almost.
Speak the AI.
Speak the AI.
Which is kind of cool. And cool enough, Photoshop, or I guess Adobe came out with, like, a web app, which is like on Firefly. So you can do all this Firefly stuff. Like, let's say you wanted to fix your photo right on your phone. Somebody was saying, like, oh, I have a bunch of old photos. You could just try going to the web and go to firefly.adobe.com, which is super cool. And they have all of this stuff that you have in Photoshop. So it's kind of cool. Like, if you wanted, let's just try that photo really quick. I'm, like, curious to see because I've tested it, like, changing a dress on the web versus Photoshop, and it is a little bit different, but I like both. So it's just kind of fun.
It's cool to see the differences.
So
Nia says the dress looks so cool and I love the black tux. And then Link says, thank you, I wanted to look into fixing up some family photos on my own, so I appreciate the advice. Yeah, like I said at the beginning, I think this is a really practical stream because we all have old photos that we might want to fix up. And I know,
even, like, I feel like a lot of my childhood photos that are, like, taken with a little portable camera,
they're,
like, kind of ruined, sun damaged, and I'm like, I need to go fix those because it's kind of like, that is all we have. Like, we didn't have our iPhones back then, so.
For sure. Or even just to colorize or to see, like, what things could have looked like. It's really nice to have that option. Yeah.
I think that's really cool, like, taking on, like, the black and white photos, like, oh, what were they wearing, maybe, you know?
Yeah, I know. Now I want to take some of my grandparents and kind of play with them.
Yeah.
See what they could have been.
That'd be cool. I should have gotten some of my grandparents' photos because, they have a lot, too. So this is really nice, too. It kind of already has it set up for you where you can just start drawing.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like what I want to change. And, again, I would type something. So, wedding dress.
Yeah, I usually like starting with a simple prompt like that, just like super simple, and then you can build from there. But I feel like sometimes it's better than like a super complicated.
Yeah, because like you could write like vintage.
Yeah.
Oh, this one is so
That's
pretty.
pretty. I love the necklace.
It's like a little. Oh, that one's cute too. I feel like it's giving it a vintage style already too, and it gave her like a little braid.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Oh, that's so cute. I don't know which one's my favorite.
I know, I like them all.
Nice,
I like the braid on that one, though.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, it kind of gives her, like, a little, like, wedding hairstyle. And even, too, like, if you wanted to maybe, like, add hair right here. Oh, and then you click keep and whatever. Then, like, maybe you would, like, mirror it, right? If it was, like, I don't know, you want to do that. But, oh, whoops. Subtract. Anyway, that's just, like, kind of fun. Like, it's so fun just playing with it on your phone.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I was just, like, trying all these things. Like, look what I can do. Or, like, what happens if I do this? And I think it's really cool because I've always thought that as well. Like, I wish I could just do this on my phone right now.
Yes.
Like, I have to go to my computer.
Yes.
So yeah, it's just like a quick little fix, and they have again like other stuff too, which is really fun to play around with, like text to image, text effects, sketch to image, which I think is pretty cool. Like
I know
I don't really draw,
awesome.
but like
yeah.
I feel like for a lot of artists, this is gonna really help, like giving you like an idea, like a reference photo.
Yes.
Right. Like so many times, it's like
yes.
I've even had one of my friends like, hey, can you Photoshop this for me? Like I need a reference photo of this.
Yeah.
She's like, but it's, you know, kind of like a little bit like surreal.
Yeah.
So it's like, how am I supposed to find a photo of that online?
Yes.
So it's like, I don't know, it's like game changing.
Yeah.
Or 3D to image. I don't know, it's super. Or maybe, I don't know, for you, if it's like the recolor. If
yeah.
you're doing, like,
well, the sketch to image will be really great for doing mock-ups for product photography.
Oh, yeah.
Like set mock-ups and stuff like that.
That would be cool.
Yeah. And then, recolor is great too. Yeah, it's all great. Text to image is great for mock-ups too. And even just we've been using it, or I've been using it for just coming up with ideas.
Yeah.
Because you are like, okay, this is kind of the direction we're going. You type it in. What does it come up with? And then you can like have it keep generating. So it just gives you more and more ideas, and then you can build off of that.
Yeah, it's super fun.
It's really cool. It's a great tool for creativity.
Yeah. Especially if like you don't know. I know, I feel like I see all this like kind of like art and AI art, and it's kind of cool to see like, oh, what will I come up with, right? Because we all talk differently, we all like type differently.
Totally.
So it's like
you're gonna get different results. Yeah. Someone was asking, how do you turn an image to a sketch? Well, it'd be sketch to image actually, but it's still in exploration, so it's not launched yet, but it will be coming at some point soon. So just keep an eye on that.
But I'm guessing you would just take a picture of your sketch.
I would think so. You would just upload a picture of your sketch, and I think it will generate an image like that.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of like almost like text to image.
Yeah, where you just type in something and it creates an image, which is really cool.
Just like, let's do like Halloween.
Yeah.
Cat. I don't know. I think too. Oh, this is my favorite as well, because probably for the sketch too, what's gonna happen is like there's different like
content types.
Yeah, like graphic, art, photo, like
totally,
photo.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Oh my
I love
gosh,
cats.
it's so cute.
Or like popular like little things. Like I kind of like that. It gives you a little bit like, oh, what am I looking for? So I just clicked photo and I would just regenerate.
Yes.
Which is super fun. Right, then it gives you kind of, especially too for photography, I feel like if you've ever been like in an art rut, it's kind of like, I don't know what to take pictures of. This helps me so much to kind of like, okay, like this is how I'm going to set it up. These are the props I'm going to get. Like it is very useful to kind of do like mood boards and stuff like that.
It's great for mood boards, yeah.
But this one is so cute.
I know.
I love this. Thumbs up
kitty.
for this one. Like it looks really realistic. I don't know. It'd be kind of cute too, because like you're like, okay, that's how I'm going to have my cat. I'm going to get a little hat.
Yes.
I don't know. It's so fun.
Yeah, I'm going to get these pumpkins.
Yeah.
It's
But
really
and then
fun.
you can add to it as well.
Yes.
Let's see. Edit. Generative Fill. Show similar.
Yeah, show similar.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's super awesome.
Yeah.
Edit, Generative Fill, use reference image. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You can maybe do your cat.
Exactly.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I should have downloaded a filter or remove background. This is kind of nice too, especially if like
so nice.
into like stickers and stuff like that.
Yes.
I feel like okay, this is what I want.
I've been using that in Adobe Express, because now you can do like remove background, even in a video. So like there's like a video of my dog, and then I want to put him in the like whatever, and then I'll just like remove the background, so it's like just him running around, and you can add text and stuff.
Cute.
It's so cool. It does a really good job.
I love that. Yeah, that is something I really like about the video thing, and then like you can add the text behind everything.
Yeah.
And it is nice because it's just like so fast. Let's just see what it would do. Remove background.
I know, it's so fast. Oh, it's taking you out to Express. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh nice.
Yeah.
Remove background.
It's so handy, because if you're like, oh, I want to use this for like a cute little like Instagram story as a sticker or something, like you said, you can just drop it into a graphic, and then you can animate it. You can make it like spinning, and then whatever.
Yeah, let's look at some animations in Bungee.
Yeah, like that's so cute, and then you can have a cute little Instagram story.
But that way, like I like when, like let's say you wanted to add like your own image to it, and you kind of just want to like. You had like a Halloween sticker, or like a season sticker on all your photos. It's just like kind of cute. Like you got this from like an image that you generated.
Yeah.
It's super
I know,
fun.
it's crazy.
It's so cute.
I feel like you can get lost in just doing this kind of stuff for so long.
I'm like, I could spend like hours just like playing around. It's so fun
to play with. Yeah.
Like Halloween, maybe like Halloween orange cat.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like, match the pumpkins. So it's kind of, oh, whoops. Oh, there's a space.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I've seen people start from like one word and just do like a whole paragraph. So
Oh, that's
you can
cool.
just, like,
Yeah.
really do everything. So right, that kind of didn't really give me Halloween things. So maybe like Halloween,
with pumpkins
yes,
or wearing a witch hat or
with
something.
orange cat kind of.
Oh, yeah, Halloween scene. That's good, too.
But right, that would be cool too. Like, oh, like maybe be more specific. Like, and witch hat or broom or pumpkins.
Oh,
there
but
we
that
go.
looks really good.
Look at this one. It's neck.
Yeah.
I like this. This one almost looks like it's glowing.
That one kind of looks like
cool.
he's like sleeping or something.
Yeah. He's just like, my mom put me here.
Yeah,
for
he's
this
like,
photo.
she's making me pose again with the pumpkins.
But that's so fun.
It's really cool.
Anyway, but we can go back to restoring. But I just want to see kind of like what the web AI did with like the wedding dress. Because it is kind of like,
it's different.
You think it'd be like really slow or something like that, but it's actually really fast. And it's just like, you can touch up as you go. I don't know. It's really cool. Kind of cool. But of course, if you want to do like more touch ups, like the refining tools and stuff like that, you can make this perfect a little bit more like this or whatever.
Yes. Wow. I mean, it's crazy. When you go back to the original, it's such a big difference.
Yeah, where versus like this, and you're just like, wow, like it even just looks better. And it kind of, if I was to work on this photo for a while, I would make it so like the background didn't look so grainy and dirty. Like it definitely, like those are smudges, which is like, there was only so much I could do.
Right.
I mean, I could totally make a new background, but then that kind of gets rid of that feel.
Yeah.
Which actually, let's just try it. Let's just try to
see
select
what it does.
The background. I usually select the subject and then I erase it, but this didn't really do too good of a job.
I wonder if you just remove background, what it will do.
Oh yeah, let's just do that.
If it may not know that she's separate from it, but
I know. Yeah, let's just like combine all the the layers first. Remove background.
Yeah, I didn't really know. They're kind of blended into the background.
Yeah,
so.
like they're like they're the same color.
Yeah.
So actually, let's just try object selection tool, my favorite tool ever. And I guess you could select the subject.
Yeah, it's really good.
And then reverse it. Oh yeah, that's perfect. And then reverse is right here, or inverse, I guess.
Yeah.
And then let's subtract it. This is a little bit messy, but again, I would fix this if I wasn't trying to just show you guys everything. And then generative fill for this, sometimes I'll just like write like smooth, because sometimes it's kind of like blank background. I mean, we could try that, but I've had a lot of success just doing smooth or smooth out or something like that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see if this works. Oh, whoa. Kind of golden. Right, so this, that's kind of cool. It looks like a little photo book a little bit if you're doing it more artistic. So that doesn't work, so you could just be like, sometimes if I'm removing blemishes, I'll write remove, just right, because I don't want to write blemishes and then like.
Yeah, it adds.
I don't know, so sometimes this works, right, it even says, avoid using instructions like add, fill, make, and change.
Yeah.
So, but sometimes I just kind of test it out because I don't know what else to do, right? I'm like, what do I
wonder if you could say like
2, 3. So right. This one is kind of good, like the white to dark kind of thing. There's people obviously.
I know they're kind of weird. I wonder if you could say like vintage wall or something like that. Maybe it might do something weird, but
maybe maybe just wall. Let's just try wall first.
Yeah.
But another idea. Sometimes it's looking at the people, right? So sometimes I feel like when you're trying to remove a person, it'll add like a random person and you're like,
it does do that.
What?
Yeah.
And so sometimes actually I'll just select the whole photo and I'll say like remove people, or just like sometimes it kind of does the opposite, and that way you have like a blank canvas to work on, because sometimes it is like why did it generate a whole crowd behind them?
Yeah.
This is kind of cool. It's trying to follow the aesthetic, which is kind of cool.
It's doing a good job of it.
Yeah. But not like kind of like
but
what
it's
we
like
want.
We want it to be a little different.
This is kind of cool. I added like a whole other frame.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. And sometimes too, which can be like a little bit annoying, like it's adding a little bit, if you guys can tell, like onto her dress.
Right.
So like let's say we liked this one. And so usually if you want to like fix that and rasterize the layer, you just kind of like take the background and fix that. Yeah. Because like even to like it kind of added her hair.
Right.
And like I still want to keep like her hairline, whatever it was.
Like what it actually is.
So sometimes that's kind of funny because right, you won't like notice it, and you're like, wait, where did that come from?
Yeah.
There's like extra whole head of hair,
Yeah.
extra shirt kind of thing. So, but this one's kind of fun. It kind of looks like it's part of like a locket.
I know,
like a
it's
heart
kind of
locket.
cool. I like
I
it.
don't know.
Gives it some distinction.
But this one does seem more flat, where then if like, let's say you've tried and this was like all it, then I would go in and like start removing stuff.
Yeah.
Like then just remove, because it does look a little bit better than this like scratchy stuff.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
does.
like, because right, I like this one a lot, the final, but yeah, even like her dress, it's like, I didn't know
Yeah.
really what I was supposed to do with it right there.
Right.
But now it's like, look at that.
It's so cute.
Right. And maybe too, if you wanted to keep it more original, you would just fix this part of the sleeve. Kind of,
Yeah.
like, puffy, looks like there's probably still some sparkles like from her neckline
Yeah.
and everything. I don't know, it's just so cool how
It's
you can
really cool.
have so many like different possibilities. I
Yeah. Andrew is asking if you would say the texture on this image is smooth or grainy.
I would say the texture on this one, to me, it's grainy.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if we like zoom in,
Yeah.
it's just like so
Can see that.
pixely, I guess. So, but yeah, I guess like, yeah, depending on your definition, right?
Yeah.
Some things is kind of different. So like maybe if you write remove grain or like
Yeah.
less grainy kind of thing, you can kind
Yeah.
of get creative like that, like so it knows. But definitely very scratchy. I feel like for me this one is like was grainy. Let's just
Yeah.
look.
And you can definitely see that paper texture.
Yeah, and the
that they
paper
were talking
texture.
about. Yeah.
There's this one too, which is actually pretty
Cute.
clear,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool.
Oh my gosh.
I know, isn't that so
Baby's
cute?
so cute.
This was like, I think this was the guy's mom, and that's like
Aw,
his grandma, which is kind of
so
cool.
sweet.
So he wanted me to remove everybody.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. You can definitely tell that I like stamped the background.
Yeah.
The guy loved it. Like he was just
Yeah.
like, that's so good. Like he's like, I know there's not much to work with, but he's like, I just want
and
one
that
with
looks
just
pretty good. Yeah.
my mom and my grandma, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like kind of curious to see what AI would do.
Yeah.
To like remove everybody.
Let's see.
Are we good on time?
Yeah, we're
cool,
good.
Perfect. I'm like,
I know, it goes by so
I
fast.
know, I'm like,
it's
wait,
crazy.
I have so much to show you guys.
Yeah.
But so sometimes I kind of like selecting a subject because again, since they're all kind of close together, I'm kind of afraid it'll be like it'll start adding people.
Yeah.
If that makes
They're
sense.
kind of blending there on the bottom.
So just so I kind of know what the original looks like, I'll just like select everything. Her bag, just like a little rough thing. It doesn't have to be too long, and then I'll just make a separate layer, right? Like
Yeah.
you know, people. This is what I want to keep. And I'll typically start on like one side. And you could like over select.
Yeah.
That way it kind of gives you more. I don't know. And let's just see what it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I do like that about generative AI. Like see, like my ground was just like a little bit flat. But right, this is gonna create like a nice like perspective floor. Too.
Right.
And,
That's the
I can
hard
even
thing too,
change
is like trying to create perspective and everything.
Yeah. Also, see,
Oh, that's good.
this is kind of cool. It kind of keeps like the wall and the plant.
Yeah.
I feel like last time I didn't really have like a lot of like plant to work with.
Yes.
But since this gives me this, and then maybe I'll just like, put her bag back on top.
Right.
That's kind of like what I do.
Because you could mask that back in.
Yeah, mask it in, just refine it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's like pretty good. Like
That's
it
really
did like the
good.
shadows of the thing. I don't know. I'm like,
Yeah.
I could never.
I know. It's so hard to do that on your own, or it
Right.
would just take so much time.
It really would. And then you can just kind of refine it to like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want this, whatever that is. But
Yeah.
it's kind of fun because it's
It's
just like
really
you get to create
cool.
a new piece of artwork
Yeah.
with your stuff. I don't
This
know.
is so cool too, because it's so meaningful to the people who are hiring you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this is their history, and you get to be a part of helping them preserve that.
Right. And this one is really, like, this is one of my favorites just because when I didn't know the story beforehand, I don't
Yeah.
think. But then when I sent him the final, he was just like, Sarah, like, my mom is in tears right now. Like, she's so happy. Like, you know, because it's just like, you don't know, like,
Yeah.
maybe her mom passed away. Like,
Maybe she doesn't really have any pictures of just her and her
Yeah.
mom.
And she's just like, wow, now I have, like, this keepsake. I don't know. I'm like,
Yeah.
and when I find that stuff up, I'm like, well, now I'm crying.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so sweet.
Aw,
But
that's awesome.
I don't know. It's just
Really
kind of
cool.
It is really sweet. Like when you thought like, oh, I'll never have that photo again. Like it
Yeah.
was ruined, or even to like, I have a lot of people asking me to add loved ones into a photo,
Yeah.
and that one's super sweet too because they're just like, I never would have thought like I would have this photo. Like it means, oh, look at that.
Wow, that's so
good.
good.
I just love that how it follows the perspective.
Yeah,
too.
it really does.
Because that's kind of like the hardest part if you're a
That's
Photoshop artist. It's like trying, you're copying and changing the perspective of the layer, refining it. It's like
and the lighting is so hard too, because like you could like composite something in, but you have to make the lighting match, and it's hard.
And that was always the hardest part, because it's like, yeah, you can change the lighting, but it's so tedious. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm so bored almost.
Yeah.
I'm like, just make this work for me, please.
Yeah.
So I can spend time doing something else. But anyway, I love that. Like, it's just
That's
so pretty.
really cool.
But anyway, if you wanted to save this, I would save it to your cloud documents, which is super cool because then you can save it into Adobe Express.
Yes.
Right? Like if I was going to post this, like, hey, just test it out, like the new AI, like, before AI, after AI, or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Before and after.
I like, people love that. I'm like,
oh,
so
yeah.
cool. You just go to your stuff, and it should, look at that.
There it is.
Upload it. And so, upload the after, and then maybe on, like, a different side, I would do, like, the before.
Remember, Mike says, Grandma just folded the picture to get rid of people, like before, like the old school way.
The old school, the cut.
Cut people out.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes too, people will be like, well, like, you could crop the photo in if you need to. And I'm like, oh, no, I don't need to. Like, I could extend it if you want.
Yeah, I can make it bigger.
So, that's, like, super fun. I love doing that. But
that's really cool. Yeah, and so nice to just have everything so easily, like, accessible. You don't have to, like, download it and then upload it, and it's just right there.
Yeah. And then, like, you're, like,
and then, like you said, you're on your phone. You can just,
upload it right there.
Yeah.
And then even you just hit share, and
there you go.
And you make your little post. My Instagram's not connected right now. But you had your caption, right? This is what I did.
That's really cool.
After AI is what, blah, blah, blah. First comment, preview. You get to see what it looks like, right?
That's awesome.
I probably would add, like, a little before.
Yeah.
You could just upload, go to your stuff again, or maybe a media, upload from your device, and then let's see where it is. Oh, I don't think I have it saved in this folder, but whatever. We'll do these two, before and after. Gotta wait to load.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Makes it so easy.
Yeah. Oh, this kind of takes a while. Oh, there we go. So let's just delete this one. So you could just have, like, 3 in a row, like before, after Photoshop, and then I don't think I saved this to my cloud, but save. And okay, this one's a little messy still, but I would edit it more. But right, if I was finished,
yes, if it was fully done,
I would just kind of go into it. And I don't know, I like this too, because sometimes you finish a piece of art and you're kind of like, okay, I'll just post it. And I see, like, photographers all the time too, especially because that's who I am, so I follow a lot.
Yeah.
Like, oh, don't know what to do for a caption. Like, here's my photo. Or, like, there's no story.
It's so hard to think of things sometimes, yeah.
And it's just kind of like, well... And I can kind of see, like, definitely when posts have more of a story, they definitely get way more traction. Yeah. It's just like, oh, like, look at this photo. Like, I thought I could never get it back or whatever kind of thing. I've kind of noticed that with, like, my Instagram.
Yeah.
Showing people, like, the before and after, like, more of the story line. Like, this one, just people, or this was just swipe for the after.
Wow.
And people were kind of like, wait, how did you do that?
Wait,
like,
that's crazy.
I know. But so that was kind of eye-catching in itself. Whoops. That, like, people were like, well, there's no head.
Like, wait, what happened to him? Yeah.
And like, before AI, I'm like, I would have been like,
You did this one with AI?
I did this one with AI,
That's so cool.
So,
it looks so good.
I did have a photo, obviously, of his face.
Right,
because,
of course,
like, you can't just generate a
random person's face.
But it was definitely useful. Oh, sorry, I keep doing that. What the heck? Like, the suit, I feel like it just helped match the whole photo.
Oh, for sure.
Because I'm not sure what he was wearing. He may have been wearing a suit. But right then I could, like, match the thing. And I think his hand as well.
That's
was
really
missing.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, his hand.
Right. That
and
kind
all
of
of those, like, scratches and creases and tears.
Yeah, and so that I just kind of did with, like, classic tools like Clone Stamp, but also, like, the scratch reduction and everything like that. But, this one was really fun. Or even, like, recreating the background. Like, right, this would have been...
Right, it would have taken forever.
So annoying. Like, I mean, you think it doesn't take that long? Like, even people be like, oh, this is so easy. And I'm like, yeah, you think that, but then you're like, oh, wow, an hour and a half has passed by.
Yeah, it looks simple, but you have to know how to do it. And even then, it's still time-consuming.
Yeah, and you're like... Because right, even sometimes when you edit it and then you're looking at it afar and you're like, oh, no, that still looks a little bit off.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, I should retouch
Well, and sometimes
that.
I just don't trust my eyes. I'm like, does it look off, or have I been looking at it for too long?
That is me. I'm like, okay, I need to take a
break.
break.
Yeah, take
tomorrow.
a break, get a second opinion.
But I said it to my family, like, what's wrong with this photo?
Yes, that's so smart. Yeah.
Which is nice because then they're like, and the best part too is when they mention something, I'm like, oh shoot, that's not what I meant. But
that
now I have to
is
go
wrong.
Fix that. I didn't even notice that.
You're giving me more work.
You're like, wait, I wasn't looking for that, but thank you anyway.
But it is, once you look at something so long, sometimes you just don't even, notice things anymore.
Know. Yeah, which is kind of funny. Like, is that no? Or sometimes too, like, you're looking at a photo for so long. I've done this before. Like, let's say this one.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many people you're adding in, and you're erasing stuff, and so sometimes I'm like, hey, like, let me, like, look at this photo, and there have been times where I've, like, forgotten, like, a hand on a shoulder, or, you know, like, imagine if, like, this guy had a hand, I was, like, adding
it's you're, like, taking someone out, but you leave the hand.
But it's, like, so confusing, because it's, like, okay, make sure everybody lives there, and so I've had people like, oh, actually, there's still the hand there. I'm like, oh, shoot, okay, like, let me remove it really quick. Like, it's okay, like, I'll re-edit it, like.
That's so funny.
It's just, like, you think you've done everything.
But you just look that your brain stops seeing it, you know?
Which is super nice with the new AI, because I feel like sometimes when, like, let's say she had, like, her husband here, and he had, like, his hand on her shoulder.
Yeah.
Sometimes that would have been so annoying to, like, try to, like,
Right.
For sure. Or, like, remove the hand, remove the arm, and so it's kind of nice when AI can just, like, add in, like, clothing.
Yes.
Because then it's, like, you're almost, like, pulling from, like, you're switching the shoulders, but they're different angles. I'm, like, whenever I get, like, a request like that, I'd be like, do you have another photo?
That I can
please help me out.
Yes.
But it's super fun.
That's awesome. Well, we have about 10 minutes if you have something else you want to show.
Let's see. Let's do another photo. I have tons. So
perfect.
On your computer.
This is really cool. So this is your full-time job now?
Yes.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, I have a ton of requests. If you guys want to request something, and let's say you don't want to do it yourself, because, again, it's time-consuming.
Yes.
My links are all in my bio. Like, all my socials are basically Sara Snapshots.
Awesome.
Instagram has 2 underscores, but
okay.
TikTok is just Sara Snapshots. YouTube, Sara Snapshots.
That's awesome.
Pretty easy to remember. But yeah, you just click the link. You just go to my link tree. And if you just want to send me an email, you could just do the first one. I do have a really long queue because like this is a full-time job now. So if you want a guaranteed response, use pay $15. It does go towards your photo. People are like, wait, what? But I'm like, it just shows me that you really want to.
That you're actually serious.
Because some people, I used to get like, I'm 10 years old. Can you edit my photo? Oh. And I'm like, I love it. Like, I would if I had time.
But yeah, you just can't do everything.
Oh, like, I feel so bad. I'm like, I wish I had. I need to hire people, I guess.
Yeah.
So that I can
well, hopefully now things will be sped up too with more improvements in AI and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, people are like worried, like, are you going to like lose your job? I'm like, well, actually, I just get.
Actually, this like helps my job.
Yeah, I'm like, this really helps me, but let's see.
Yeah, and you still have to know how to use it. Like, it's, you know, like, you're doing tweaks to, like, everything. Yeah. You're not just, like, clicking one button and it's done. There's still tweaks that have to be made that you have to know how to do and how to use the tools. And you still sometimes have to use the old tools, you know?
Exactly. It was like, okay, because I'm trying to, like, not make it, like, you know, like, oh, like, look what I did. Like, I'm, like, trying to make it where it's, like, you want to print it out and it looks like, right, nobody was there, like, in this photo. Like, I want to make sure that it's, like, you know, even the person who had the original photo can't even tell. Yeah. They're like, oh, wow.
That's
like,
crazy. Yeah.
What did you do? You know, because there's still, like, just, like, a little bit mess-ups here and there for just doing 2 buttons. But it is still nice if you're, like, I just want a little bit something nicer than what I had before.
Yeah, for sure.
But, let's see. Let's work on this one. I worked on this one before. Whoops, a little glitchy. Before AI. But you can kind of tell it's a little bit small. All right, while it's loading. It's it's super cute. She wanted to remove all the, or I don't know who it was actually, but they wanted to remove everything, right? It's kind of cute. You have the dancing.
It's a sweet picture.
I mean, like, look at this bridesmaid or whatever. Like, it is super cute, but it's kind of like.
But it's distracting.
Yeah, like. If you want to, like, hang this, I realize this, too, with my wedding photos. Like, you want to hang it on your wall, but you have
you don't want other people in the photos that you're hanging. Yeah.
Yeah, it's, like, kind of, like, weird. So this was, like, my take. Now I'm kind of noticing, like, I should have just maybe done, like, this side, like, copy and paste it. Because, like, the lighting from the original. Like, so, like, that's probably for the cameras.
Yeah.
And so, like, that was a little off. But, let's just see what AI will do if you just select all of it. And we'll keep his little head in there. So, right, like, when you are working on a photo before AI, it was, like, you're only limited to what's in the photo or what photos they've given you.
Right.
So, and I wanted to, like, copy this part over to there.
Maybe it's too big of a selection.
Or even, like, this is, like, sometimes I'll just do, like, background.
Yeah.
To kind of, like, give it, like, copy the other side.
Yeah.
So, right, that's when it does that, usually I'm like, okay, I need to put an input in.
Right.
So, or if it does that when you do put an input in, then maybe there's, like, a word.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. But it did, like, pretty good.
The curtains, it did really well.
Like, it actually...
Oh.
Look at all those people. Yeah, sometimes it's, like, got some dresses.
Nice.
Background. But this one is really nice. Like, I would say
that is
probably,
great.
Like,
you could then
this.
just select that, whatever that thing is, like a little fabric thing.
Yeah. It's like... And...
Which maybe that you can just generate and see what it...
Yeah, because this would probably be like, oh, okay, like, this obviously is not part of the photo.
Yeah.
But, right, that's pretty fun, because then it's like... Oh, we can count an issue. Maybe we could just write remove sometimes. You can write a prompt in more than 100
I know, these
languages.
tips are so great.
I should have looked up a different, like, languages to see how, like, oh, look at that. I love that.
That looks great.
Oh, and it even tried adding
cute.
back in
little
the
decor.
I kind of like this one. This one looks so
That one
sharpish.
looks really clean.
And this, like, right from here, I would edit back in the original decor.
Yeah.
But maybe they don't want the plates, too. Like, you could even ask, like, hey, like,
do you want the plates or do you want it to look like this? Yeah.
the garland and everything like that.
Yeah,
So
it's really cool.
it is kind of fun to be like, and I've had people do that, like, can you add this and this and this? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, as long as I have, like, my own artistic ability, because it's like, you never know what you're going to get to.
Yes.
Right? It's like, it's not perfect. It's not always going to do, like, what you want kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, this does make it fun too. I love, like, it's like when it's loading, I'm usually like watching a show or like reading. I'm like, okay, like, let's see what happens.
It's always the suspense of like, what's it gonna do? Or it's, oh my goodness.
Or it's like, but that's like, instead of remove people, right? Yeah. I've learned that like just doing backgrounds kind of helps it a little bit to be like, looks for stuff in the background.
Yeah, for sure. So Andrew asked how you edited out the children on the picture of the grandma and the children, and it's the same exact way where you made a selection and then you didn't even type anything in that one, right? You just hit remove.
Yeah, I just hit remove.
Or you just hit generate. Yeah, and then it removed them. So,
which surprised me actually. I think it's because I did such a big selection. Because sometimes, like in this one, it'll generate people,
right?
Because it kind of thinks like, I don't know, it's like a person. So it's like, oh, let me change the person. Oh, that looks so
really good.
I love that. I love how it like keeps the garland. See, like this one. And so it's kind of like you get what you get. Like, so for the other one, I did just select and just hit generate. If that didn't work, again, I would just do like background. Or that's when I would do smaller selections as well. Yeah. Or sometimes too, something that helps that I realized. So let's say this like just wasn't working. To make a smaller selection, like let's say these people were all like next to each other. Yeah. It's kind of nice, like you could do individual people.
Right, you could select one at a time.
Which would be probably smarter if like something wasn't working, but you could also, I almost like cut them in half. And it can be like really messy.
Oh, and then do some even smaller selections. Yeah, that makes sense.
Especially for the old family photo, this one would kind of help like just doing like a little line right here with the background, just to kind of separate them. Yeah. Because I think that's like
then it knows these are separate.
Yeah.
Like I want them to be different. I don't want this to be a part of it. Yeah, Wade says verbs aren't recognized from what I understand. So, removing people and get one free.
Right, get one free with this guy. Yeah. I'm always just, like, laughing at, like, what it generates.
I know. Sometimes it's so creepy.
Yeah. Was it this one? Yeah. I'm like, who is that?
But, you know, it put him, like, watching them and, like, I know, that's, like, it does make sense. So it's just not what you wanted.
No.
But that's where it's helpful to like learn the language and what you can use, like background and things like that.
Yeah. And like something cool too, like with the whole generative expand, like they're in the middle-ish. Yeah. But like sometimes people will give me like a frame size. Yeah. And so then I could just like
extend that way and then
way
fill
it's like
that.
Bigger. Right. Yeah. So that way it fits in the frame. Like they don't want it just
really
to be
cool.
just them or whatever. And then just select everything. I think there's a faster way to do this, but whatever.
Oops. Oh, there you go.
And then you just hit generate. Which, with the new update that just happened like last week, Before too, I feel like I would do smaller selections for extending the background.
Yeah.
But now it's like it's so
It's
good
gotten
that
really good.
you just have to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's okay.
I didn't combine all the layers. That's why.
There you go. Well, thank you so much, Sarah. It was so cool to see you bring all these photos to life. So make sure you go follow Sarah and stick around because we are going to be having another photo compositing stream after this with Retouching, and you don't want to miss that. So we will see you in a few minutes.